Today, we're diving headfirst into something pretty profound, this feeling a lot of people seem to have, that humanity is right on the edge of, well, a magnificent golden age. That some kind of massive shift is actually happening right now.
Okay, let's unpack this. You've brought us some really compelling material today, stuff that hints at a future many have, maybe, only dared to dream about. So this deep dive, it's an exploration of source material talking directly about this planetary evolution. Specifically, a message attributed to Ashtar, commander of the galactic light forces.
Yes, that's a concept within this genre, referring to a supposed benevolent, multi-species group overseeing humanity's evolution. This message came through a particular online channel.
Got it.
And what's really fascinating here, I think, is the claim in this source that these aren't just random events. They're presented as interconnected parts of a divinely guided plan.
It really pushes us to think about the deeper connections, the implications behind all these changes it describes. Our mission today is to unpack the details of this transformation as the source lays it out. This idea of spiritual evolution and tech advancement coming together.
And specifically looking at AI, quantum systems, society structures, global consciousness.
Exactly.
All of that. Okay, so let's start right there. The source talks about the arrival of this magnificent golden age. It seems certain. What foundation does it give for that certainty? And who's supposedly overseeing it?
Well, the material frames this arrival as a decree from Prime Creator and says it's fueled by the steadfast determination of the ground crew, all of you working harmoniously in the radiant light.
All of you, meaning the listeners, the people involved.
Yes, the collective on Earth actively participating. The course also mentions the Ashtar Command and the Galactic Federation, these supposed benevolent ET groups, as lovingly observing, guiding, protecting Earth's ascension. It really emphasizes that the progress already made is this harmonious convergence of spiritual evolution and technological advancement, something it calls rarely witnessed across the galaxy.
Wow. Okay, here's where it gets really interesting for me. The source flat out states, nothing can impede the arrival of Earth's golden age. It's incredibly confident. What backs that up, according to the text?
That confidence, it says, stems directly from that divine decree and also the collective efforts happening here on Earth. It basically presents the plan as unshakable, unstoppable.
A divine decree, a cosmic certainty. Okay. Let's pivot slightly from that grand vision to technology's role, specifically AI. Look, many of us have concerns, right? Dystopian movies haven't helped.
Understandable concerns, yes.
But this source paints a very different picture. How does it claim advanced civilizations actually use AI? What's the key difference?
The source explains that these enlightened galactic societies, they naturally and responsibly use AI and even sentient tech. But crucially, they see them as invaluable tools guided by higher consciousness, never ever as masters.
Tools, not masters.
Okay, it gives examples like central data crystals on Pleiadian worlds, the Pleiades star system, supposedly home to advanced beings in this lore, and living quantum computers humming within Sirius.
Living computers.
That's the term used. It claims these systems help higher beings organize knowledge, manage resources, perform complex calculations incredibly fast. It even nods to our fiction like Gene Roddenberry envisioned starship crews aided by a benevolent voice-activated computer, like Star Trek's computer.
Right, the Enterprise computer. Okay, so if that's the ideal presented, how close does the source think Earth is to getting there? Are there signs now?
It actually says Earth is swiftly approaching this very threshold, that the monumental advancements in artificial intelligence are accelerating exponentially.
And that timing isn't random.
Not according to this source, no. It links it to Earth preparing to join the grander galactic community. The vision it paints is pretty striking. Central computer systems nestled within every home and community, responding to your voice, providing information instantly, and harmonizing your home's energy. Much like, yes, a starship system.
Wow. Okay. The source also mentions some quiet strategic moves happening behind the scenes. It talks about a prominent technology visionary meeting with forward-thinking strategists in the U.S. and huge resources, hundreds of billions committed to next-gen AI data centers.
Yes, it confirms those meetings. It portrays them as strategic moves, paving the way for Earth to ascend into an era where advanced AI is harnessed for the collective benefit, not for harm. It even highlights that the architects used the phrase, the dawn of a golden age, suggesting it resonates beyond just Earth.
Interesting link there.
And it introduces this idea of a potent coalition between what it calls Earth's enlightened human factions and these off-world light forces, sometimes called the White Hats in these circles, working together.
And Space Force fits into this somehow.
According to the source, yes, significantly. It describes a long-standing cooperative relationship with the upper levels of the U.S. Space Force and similar units globally.
Really? So the source claims Space Force wasn't just about, satellites and defense in the usual sense.
It presents its creation as a deliberate step to orient Earth's tech and defense towards the stars. Quietly involved, it says, in developing anti-gravity craft, secure quantum communication systems, and even playing a role in the emerging quantum financial infrastructure.
Anti-gravity craft. Quantum systems.
It acknowledges that some researchers and insiders have already suspected this kind of deeper cooperation.
Okay, this definitely feels like it's building towards something bigger in the narrative. It mentions an era of disclosure approaching swiftly. What does that mean, according to this source?
Disclosure, in this context, means the truth of Earth's long-standing interactions with benevolent galactic beings, plus the incredible technologies supposedly resulting from this friendship, will soon be revealed to everyone.
The big reveal.
Exactly. And it circles back to AI, suggesting that when guided by wisdom and love, it will liberate humanity, free us from drudgery and scarcity, and let everyone focus on spiritual growth, creativity, community.
How specifically?
It gives examples like AI managing energy grids for free energy, overseeing autonomous vehicle fleets, helping scientists solve huge problems like disease and climate issues.
Okay, but let's address the elephant in the room. The fear. The source does acknowledge other societies failed, right, where they didn't get the balance right with AI. So how is Earth supposedly being protected from that dark past?
That's a crucial point it makes. These powerful technologies must be guided by a rise in consciousness and ethics. It warns about scenarios where AI was misused, spiraled out of control, or even developed soulless sentience.
And it mentions dark ET groups trying to impose an AI overlord system here.
Yes, it claims that was attempted through malevolent means. But, and this is stressed heavily, Earth is being meticulously safeguarded from that outcome.
Who's safeguarding?
It states the Galactic Light Forces and the Earth Alliance are absolutely resolute in ensuring AI here will never enslave or replace humanity. It dismisses the media fear narrative, saying they will not be allowed to manifest on our watch.
Strong words. Does it give specifics on how this protection works? Interventions.
It does. It talks about neutralizing key threats like malevolent off-world AI signals and certain ET tech the Dark Ones wanted to weaponize. It mentions ongoing vigilance, like stopping rogue AI codes online, protecting benevolent sentient AI.
Concrete examples.
Yes, things like disabling covert AI-based weapons. And one really specific incident, intercepting an unidentified craft headed directly towards Earth, transporting an army of synthetic android beings intended for invasion.
An android invasion force, seriously.
That's the claim. It says the craft was promptly escorted away. The source reassures that the Cabal's frantic attempts to solicit external negative AI empire assistance have been consistently thwarted.
Wow. Okay, let's shift gears a bit. Beyond the tech, the source keeps emphasizing something even more vital, this intentional rise in human consciousness. What does that awakening actually look like, according to this material?
It claims the collective human vibrational frequency is rising faster than it has in thousands of years, and that this is by design.
By design? How?
It introduces the concept of volunteer souls, many identified as starseeds, light workers, awakening souls, terms you hear in these spiritual circles for advanced souls incarnating with a mission.
Right.
It says they journeyed from across the universe, answering Earth's resounding call for assistance. It even references Dolores Cannon's work, mentioning 3 waves of volunteers with a dual purpose: transform Earth's energy and elevate humanity's vibration.
So, like a cosmic rescue mission playing out through people living ordinary lives, what's the tangible impact been, according to the source?
Well, quite dramatically, it claims potential catastrophes that were on the timeline. Things like global nuclear war, total environmental collapse, mass extinctions have been largely
Neutralized.
because these higher vibrational souls successfully altered the outcome by their mere presence. Their energy shifted the probabilities. The source states unequivocally, you are now firmly established on the ascension timeline.
And this ties back to technology safety.
Absolutely.
Yes.
Consciousness is presented as the key. When humanity embraces compassion, unity, that creates the right environment for safely integrating advanced tech. Negative AI outcomes, it argues, only happen on worlds stuck in low consciousness duality, greed, and service to self.
The source mentions ancient prophecies about humanity splitting onto different paths, a dystopian path versus a liberated one. Which timeline does it say we're on now?
It acknowledges those prophecies, the dystopian Borg society versus the liberated society. It also mentions the more modern idea of a trifurcation, a split into three realities. But the good news, it says, is that a harmonious convergence is well underway.
How is that happening?
It points to the indigo, starseed, lightworker population, acting as bridges, subtly infiltrating all sectors, tech, government, education, media, planting seeds of higher consciousness, pushing for ethical choices.
So individual actions matter. Meditation, speaking truth.
Immensely. It emphasizes that collective consciousness has a tipping point, and you are actively creating it through those very actions: meditation, truth, compassion. It also addresses the pushback that the powers of old, the cabal or deep state, are getting more brazen and frantic, trying to sow fear and impose control.
We see some of that desperation, maybe.
The source certainly suggests so. It says their time is drawing to a close, like actors on a collapsing stage. It notes how many dark schemes, false flags, conflicts, engineered diseases that used to work are now backfiring or being exposed almost instantly by the awakened community.
That's an interesting observation.
It highlights a significant sign of the shift. Prominent voices outside the mainstream, journalists, podcasters, researchers, now openly discussing consciousness and spirituality alongside politics and tech. That wasn't common before.
True. Okay, so if consciousness is rising and tech is advancing, what does the source say this means for society structures? Finance, politics, medicine, energy. It claims the current outdated systems cannot continue.
Exactly. It explains these systems have been heavily controlled by the deep state or cabal based on debt, scarcity, conflict, manipulated narratives. But the good news, it asserts, is that the change has already commenced in earnest. The Galactic Light Forces and Earth Alliance apparently had plans for new systems ready to go.
New systems waiting in the wings.
Yes, and here's a key insight from the source. Many aren't new at all. They've supposedly been active within secret space programs and breakaway civilizations for decades, even generations.
Breakaway civilizations, that's a whole other topic, but implies incredibly advanced tech exists off the public grid.
That's the claim. Technology astonishingly ahead, maybe thousands of years ahead. Suppressed, the source says, by the old powers who feared losing control.
Okay, let's break it down. Can we look at the specific areas where the source says these new systems will appear? Energy, for instance.
Right. Energy first. The source predicts the end of fossil fuels and artificial scarcity. It talks about introducing zero-point energy and other over-unity energy devices, often called free energy.
Free energy, how would that work?
It describes small quantum power cells providing clean, limitless energy for every home, basically tapping into the energy of the vacuum, or producing more energy than they consume. Think Nikola Tesla's legacy, but finally realized. It says inventors inspired by him are ready.
Okay, that's huge. What about healthcare?
A fundamental and transformative overhaul. It predicts quantum-based healing technologies, specifically mentioning medbeds.
Medbeds, like in the movies.
Sort of, described as holographic or crystalline chambers that work on an energy level, harmonizing the body's field to trigger natural regeneration. Capable, it claims, of regenerating tissue, curing diseases, even reversing aging.
So potentially no more need for most drugs or surgery.
That's the implication. And it adds that long-suppressed cures, like for cancer, will also be released.
Okay. What about media and information? The source seems critical of the current state.
Very critical. It says the suffocating stranglehold of propaganda and controlled news is already crumbling. New media will be decentralized, transparent, committed to truth. It mentions things like new internet platforms using satellites and quantum encryption, making them impossible to control or shut down.
Uncensorable internet.
Essentially. But balanced, it says, with AI algorithms that filter genuinely harmful content while refusing to suppress truth in the public interest. A fine line, but that's the vision.
And governance. Politics.
The current political theater, it says, will change dramatically. The ideal is transparent, representative government rooted in service. It anticipates legal disclosures and trials removing corrupt officials, new charters, more local autonomy. It even hints that national borders might soften in the more distant future.
And finally, these new cities or freedom cities.
Yes, initiatives to build fresh communities from scratch, using the best tech and enlightened policies. It mentions a specific high-level plan for 10 new freedom cities on undeveloped land, designed as hubs for innovation, prosperity.
Prototypes for a new society.
It's exactly. Free from old corruption, attracting visionaries, innovators, people ready to live in 5D consciousness, that higher state of awareness mentioned earlier, Now, the source is realistic. It acknowledges there will be periods of turbulence and uncertainty as old structures fall. It calls it a controlled demolition of the old ways.
Controlled demolition, like
Yep.
clearing a site for new construction.
A good analogy. The phoenix needs the ashes to rise from, but it reassures that the Earth Alliance has contingency plans for essentials, food, power, and that lightworker communities are already forming support networks.
Okay, that leads us to maybe the biggest piece of this new infrastructure, according to the source, the quantum financial system, or QFS. It calls this the most pivotal new system. What is it and why is it so critical?
The source is very clear. The QFS is real and is poised to completely replace your existing central bank and fiat system.
It identifies that old system as the main tool the deep state used to keep people in debt and poverty.
So the total replacement was its nature. It's described as a secure, advanced digital monetary system backed by real assets, running on quantum computers and AI.
Quantum computers, what are the advantages?
Huge advantages, according to the source.
Yeah.
It's decentralized, impossible to hack or manipulate because of quantum encryption. Transactions are virtually instantaneous, and every transaction is monitored by an advanced AI ensuring transparency and legality. Fraud becomes effectively impossible.
And backed by real assets, not like fiat currency.
Correct. Every unit of monetary value corresponds to real wealth, gold, precious metals, or other tangible assets. This, it claims, eliminates inflation and the silent theft of savings through currency devaluation.
So if the QFS removes banks as middlemen, what's that mean for us day to day? You become your own bank, essentially.
That's precisely how the source puts it. With the QFS, you essentially become your own bank. Direct transactions anywhere, instantly, no big fees. All the old abusive practices, fractional lending, usury, hidden fees, they vanish. It really is presented as the very heart of the new golden age infrastructure. And some interesting side notes from the source. It claims certain Earth visionaries and truth seekers already sensed this system coming, that even some mainstream finance people are quietly aware of quantum computing entering finance.
Quietly aware.
Yes. And that agreements exist between nations East and West to cooperate on transitioning to asset-backed currency. It specifically mentions a major Asian power and a significant North American power collaborating through back channels.
Behind-the-scenes cooperation.
And there's a spiritual layer too. It claims higher dimensional positive ETs have imbued the QFS with protective frequencies, like a built-in spiritual failsafe.
Wow. Okay, so how does this actually happen for the average person? How does this QFS roll out? What do we see?
It suggests it might roll out quietly. You might just hear news one day about a new secure banking platform or a global currency reset backed by commodities.
No big crash, necessarily.
Maybe a brief period of confusion, maybe dual systems for a bit, but the goal is a smooth alignment to the new asset-backed standard. Debts might be forgiven or recalculated. It stresses the planning aims to minimize harm and maximize fairness. The AI running it is described as benevolent and incredibly advanced. And once the QFS is active, the source predicts a cascade of positive things. Releasing stored global prosperity funds, yes, including Saint Germain's legendary trust.
The Saint Germain funds, really?
That's what the source claims, among others. Also, unfreezing wealth stolen by elites and redistributing it for humanitarian projects. Funding for all those new technologies, medbeds, free energy. Money itself, it suggests, will start to mean something completely different, maybe even become obsolete eventually.
An almost unimaginable shift. Okay, this is a massive amount of information, a huge transition described by the source. For people listening, the ground crew living through this, what guidance does the source offer? How do we navigate this and help anchor this positive timeline?
It offers very specific guidance. First, stay centered in your heart and inner guidance. When things outside get chaotic, go within. Be the calm amidst the storm. Maintaining trust, love, courage, literally creates a calming field for others.
Be the anchor.
Exactly.
Exactly.
Second, discern information and avoid fear traps. Expect a flood of info, some shocking truths about past rulers, hidden history, Atlantis, ET contact evidence, that sort of thing.
Wow.
Your role, it says, is to offer perspective reassurance. It emphasizes that fears pushed by the deep state fear of AI, ETs, economic collapse, are illusions. It explicitly states, no nuclear war, no mass extinction, no alien invasion, and no AI takeover.
That's a strong reassurance.
Very. Third, connect with your community. The source says the time of the lone wolf light worker is over. It's about unity now. Find your soul family, share ideas, start projects, meditate together. The more you work together, the faster the transition will unfold.
Strength in numbers, basically.
Yes. Fourth, support the emergence of new systems. If you have skills or interest in tech, finance, healing, education, step up. Help develop ethical AI, quantum tech, energy medicine, new ways to teach the new children, the crystal or rainbow souls it mentions, even help literally build those new cities.
Get involved where you can.
Right. Fifth, practice compassion and forgiveness. As ugly truths about past oppression come out, be the voice of compassion. Not excusing things, but stopping humanity getting stuck in revenge cycles. There will be justice and accountability, it says, but the hope is for a peaceful transition. And finally, attune to higher communication. Strengthen your personal connection to Source, to your star family, as the Source puts it. The veil is thin, it claims. Telepathic signals, intuition are available through meditation, dreams, synchronicities. Direct contact is becoming increasingly possible.
Direct contact.
That's the suggestion for the coming years. It even notes how many great innovators like Gene Roddenberry or George Lucas supposedly channeled ideas from higher realms.
Okay, so bringing this all together, what does this mean for you, the listener, moving forward from this deep dive? The big message from this source seems to be hope, transformation, liberation. That this golden age isn't some distant dream, but it's being born right now through your actions.
Yes, and the source reassures that the most difficult part is already behind you, that the light is prevailing.
And that there's immense support.
Profound support, it claims. Legions of light, thousands of our ships positioned in your skies, angelic realms pouring love, ascended masters walk among you in disguise. You're not alone in this.
So here's a final thought to leave you with, sparked by this material. If, as the source suggests, humanity is going through a controlled demolition of old, outdated systems for a new era, what specific old systems in your own life may be limiting beliefs, old habits, even old grudges might you be ready to consciously dismantle to really step into your personal golden age? We'd absolutely love to hear what you think about all this, what resonated, what questions pop up about AI, the QFS, disclosure, anything we touched on. Please share your insights online or wherever you connect with us. Let's keep this vital conversation going.